Kwekwe, welcome to the August MPI Breaks. I'm joining you from the Canadian Heritage on the Road North exhibit in recognition of Emancipation Day, recognized on August 1st annually in recognition for the day in 1834 where the British Empires ruled enslavement illegal after more than 250 years. I'm currently filming on the unceded and unsurrendered lands of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation, a nation that has been here since long before settlement and its impacts, a nation that was also impacted by enslavement, and a nation that continues to care for and nurture for these lands that we get to call home. Before I jump into my conversation with Trisha Johnson, Director of Communications and Development at the Ottawa Food Bank, a reminder to get your ticket or table for this year's Prix Prestige being held on October 1st at the Infinity Convention Center. We look forward to welcoming you in royalty. Also, the event is just around the corner this September. Grab your tickets for this Canadian Meeting and Event Planner Conference, and we look forward to connecting, networking, and learning together. Now to this month's breaks, where I'm joined by Trisha Johnson, an experienced leader who has executed a wide variety of fundraising campaigns and is a resourceful and imaginative fundraising professional. Prior to joining the Ottawa Food Bank, Trisha's experience is heavily in music, including the Royal Conservatory of Music, which leads me to wonder why I didn't touch on that during our discussion, but we were pretty focused discussing the situation of food insecurity in our community. I hope you enjoy. Quickly, I'm joined by Trisha Johnson, Director of Communications and Development with the Ottawa Food Bank, where the mission is healthy, accessible, and sustainable food for all. Hi, Trisha. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll dive right into these questions. And my first one for you is, can you help us, the MPI Ottawa chapter community, understand the current state of food insecurity in Ottawa and how the demand for food bank services has changed over the past few years?
Excellent. Well, I'm sorry to say that it's actually quite a serious situation. One of the things that the Ottawa Food Bank is actually working on is having food insecurity be declared an emergency in Ottawa. And the reason for that is because 1 in 4 households actually are reporting food insecurity across the city. And what that means is that many people, 1 in 4 households, are having a hard time affording enough food. And so that can mean anything from worrying about having enough food, running out of food, to being as severe as skipping meals or compromising the quality or the quantity of food that one takes because they're worried about being able to afford that, as well as the bills that they have to pay. So one of the things that's been really quite startling for the Ottawa Food Bank is just how that has risen. As I said, right now it's 1 in 4 households are reporting food insecurity. In 2022, that number was 1 in 7 households. So seeing that increase has been something that we take quite seriously, and it really drives our fundraising, the different ways that we address food insecurity in our community.
Absolutely. Yeah, that 1 in 4 number is quite caught me off guard. It's quite
Yeah.
shocking. That's yeah. So are there ways you see businesses in the meeting and event industry making a meaningful impact in supporting local food banks beyond our traditional donations?
Yes, I think actually one of the things that's really great, and you're doing it already, is when we see people coming together, whether it's for professional development or even just for social reasons, they often select a charity of choice. So really integrating that community mindset into your activities, especially when you gather people together, is something that's really quite powerful. Because you're hearing the message that charities are you hear you hear the needs that the charities are addressing in your community. You're hearing that in person, you're receiving that information at the same time. And one of the things that I researched about MPI is that you really gain a lot of strength from standing shoulder to shoulder, meeting face to face. And again, bringing that energy together for a good cause is really something very special. And so it really helps to build energy, it helps to build common understanding, and it builds space for charities to tell important stories about the challenges that are being faced in their communities. And it also makes the event attendees think about not just what are they learning, but what are the actions that they can take in their in their own way that can make a difference. And that often when you pull that together, it makes a really great positive change.
Absolutely. I mean, we're very happy with the MPI Ottawa chapter to do our part as it could seem little to us as it is, but I'm happy with the impact that we're able to make. Um,
Mhm.
are there any misconceptions or surprising information about food insecurity in Ottawa that you wish more people, especially business leaders and the meeting and event industry, understood?
Yes. Food insecurity is not about a lack of food. It's about the inability to afford enough food, enough healthy food that you need to meet your um, to live a healthy and a productive life. And again, that quantity can vary from person to person. But again, when you're making sacrifices in terms of the quality or the quantity, that really has not just a physical impact on you, but also a mental impact as well. So one of the things that the Ottawa Food Bank strives to do is to, one, meet the immediate need by making sure that the food that we provide to the community is healthy and nutritious, because we really want people who are accessing our services to be better for having access to them, because we know that it's not easy to ask for help. Second, I think it's also important for people to know that having a job isn't always enough to protect someone from needing a food bank. About 13% of our food bank clients in Ottawa do cite that employment is their primary source of income, but they still need to turn to a food bank um, to make sure that they have enough money to meet the needs of rent, of transportation to and from work, any education needs, and heaven forbid if you have any medical emergencies. That often has economic implications as well. And one of the things that we see is that, people who live alone or people who are families that are headed by single parents are especially vulnerable to food insecurity because they're relying on just one income. So if something goes wrong, that can leave them in a very precarious situation where they may end up going through their savings quite quickly and needing to ask for that extra help. And again, as I said, making sure that the food that we provide and the services that we provide is helpful, healthy, really help someone move through that tough period of time.
Hmm. I love that intentional approach and the clear recognition that, like you said, it's difficult to ask for help. So that person has taken a very difficult step, and
Yeah.
we need to meet them at that same level. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, Chimigwech. Thank you very much for your time. It was very much appreciated. I'm sure our community is going to learn so much. Everyone who joined us, I'm sure they're if they wanted to reach out and potentially learn more or get more information, would it be best that they go through the Ottawa Food Bank website, or what's the best approach for people to get in touch?
Well, to learn more information, so the website is always super helpful, autofoodbank.ca. We have lots of information about how to access food support if you are in need of food, or if you know someone who is in need of food support. It lists the different agencies that provide different types of food support across the city. It also talks about the different volunteer opportunities that are available, and also just about the different issues that are driving food insecurity in our community. Advocacy is a growing part of what we do because, again, we know that it takes a collective approach to be able to change, things like income supports that are needed to make sure that people can afford the food that they need for themselves and for their family.
Mhm. Absolutely. Regrets for your time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I hope you found that discussion informative, and let's continue to help our community. And I hope you continue to enjoy your summer. Until next month, where E is for environment. Bamapi.